afternoon, everyone, and a very big welcome to the Intercultural Dialogue session of this 2025 World Congress. A special welcome to our honoured International President, Mr. Tim Boyd, and to his wife, Lily Boyd, and also to our Vice International President, Dr. Deepa Padi. Special welcome. Now, it is a real pleasure to introduce to you our distinguished international panel from across the globe, the Americas, Africa, Europe, and the Indo-Pacific. Our theme today is Wisdom Across Borders Toward a More Connected World. Some of the key words that stand out for me with this theme are, when you see the word wisdom, I think of a discerning mind in the application of knowledge. Borders, barriers. Geographically, there's the obvious barriers, cultural, religious, technological, and once again, to the mind. Each of us, the inner barriers, our beliefs, our conditionings that we all have and we work through as opportunities arise occasionally, or you could say a lot, within our own lives. And lastly, the word that really stands out for the future is connection. A more connected world brings to the mind hope for humanity, what the inner founders of the TS work for. They work for humanity. And today, we're going to go on an exploration of these things. And this now brings me to introducing our beautiful panelists. So first of all, I will start with Isis Resende. Isis is a Brazilian member of the Theosophical Society since 1968. She is a lawyer and an international speaker known for her talks on meditation, the teachings of H.P. Blavatsky, the Mahatma letters, and Jungian approaches to dreams and symbols. She served as president of the International Theosophical Federation from 2014 to 2021, and is a board member of the Brazilian section and head of the international department of that section. Isis has given talks in 43 countries around the world, supporting the growth of TS groups, especially in Russia, and she's certainly a roving ambassador for Theosophy. So welcome, Isis. Our next panellist is from the TS Africa East and Central, and it is Narendra Shah. Narendra was born and raised in Nairobi, Kenya. He was introduced to the Theosophical Society through table tennis, which is interesting, and joined in 1971 at the age of 17. Actively involved since 1975 in Nairobi, and from 1980 in the East and Central African section. He has served as chairman of the Nairobi Lodge and is now General Secretary of the section. An excellent organizer, he was Secretary of the 7th World Congress in 1982. He regularly gives talks on various theosophical subjects and has given talks in all the countries within his section. Narendra has also actively worked on the boards of a number of educational and social institutions. So welcome, Narendra. I now move to Europe, to Italy. Patrizia Calvi, president of the TS in Italy, and she joined the society at age 20 and soon became active in the Vicenta group and the TOS. a full-time volunteer since 1995. She coordinates the Italian magazine, works as a translator, and serves on the editorial committee of the Italian Theosophical publishing house. She was president of the Vicenza group from 2004 to 2013 and is a member of both the Italian and the European TS executive committees. She helped organise the 2010 World Congress and serves on the ITC Council in Narendran. She's also an additional member of the International General Council of the TS. She lives the Theosophical experience with the belief that universal brotherhood, without distinctions and beauty, are a union that cannot be untied. Welcome, Patrizia. And sitting furthest away from me is Arni Narendra from India. Arni joined the Theosophical Society in 1975 at Adyar. He served as the resident coordinator of the International Theosophical Youth Centre based in Adyar. He is presently the honorary treasurer of the Blavatsky Lodge, Mumbai, since 2016. He's an international speaker and has contributed to Theosophical articles and journals worldwide. His articles have been translated into Spanish, Finnish, Russian, Ukrainian, and Korean. He is an advisor to Synergy Journal, devoted to art, theosophy, and poetry. He has been personally initiated to Kriya Yoga by Swami Kriyananda of the Paramahansa Yogananda lineage. As a career banker, he has won international awards at China and Dubai. So welcome, Arni, and welcome to you all. Thank you. That was a mouthful, all of that. So all of our panellists are well known within the Theosophical family and have a wealth of experience to draw from, as you've just heard. So let's jump in to our questions. So our panellists have had a chance to see the questions and to have a think about how they will respond to these. Now, our first questions, and there will be supplementary questions within each one, but our first question, everyone will have an opportunity to respond. So in light of our theme, Wisdom Across Borders Toward a More Connected World, what does this mean to you within your region, and how does Theosophy contribute to this? So let's start with you, Narendra.
In the last couple of centuries, in most towns and cities of Africa, which have seen the influence of the colonial powers and experienced the sudden development and material comforts that have been brought about by the colonials and the Western world, the more connected type of living has almost eroded. However, in most parts of rural and tribal Africa, the connected type of living is very much alive and is still practiced to a significant level. Having been born, raised, and lived all my life in Africa, I'd like to give you a little example of a special tradition that has been practiced in most parts of Africa. It is a 4,000-year-old practice. A Western anthropologist came to Africa to study the social behavior of an indigenous tribe. He proposed a game to the children, and they willingly agreed to be part of this game. He put a basket full of fruits underneath a tree and made the children stand almost 100 meters away. Then he announced that whoever could reach the basket first would win the whole basket of fruits and can eat all by himself or herself after winning the race. He lined them all up and raised his hand to signal the start of the race. Astonishingly, all the children took each other's hands and started running together. They all reached the basket at the same time. Then they all sat down in a big circle and enjoyed the fruits together, laughing and smiling all the time. The anthropologist could not believe what he saw. And he asked them why they waited for each other whilst one of them could have taken the whole basket, all for himself or herself. The children shook their heads and said, Ubuntu. How can one of us be happy if all others are sad? Ubuntu means I am because we are. I am because we are. It is the essence of being human. An African child said, it is not good for all, if it is not good for all of us, it is not good. This reflected the interconnectedness in the very roots of their existence. This was the wisdom of the African tradition, which unfortunately is fast eroding.
Thank you, Narendra. It's amazing how children know, don't they? We kind of unlearn and then have to read it. Thank you for sharing.
4,000-year-old practice.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Isis, the microphone.
Yes, well, I think the world needs Theosophy. And why the world needs Theosophy? Because this time we need meaning for our lives. And Theosophy is the root of knowledge, the root of wisdom, the root of the essence of life. So I have seen that in the last days, the last years, the interest on theosophical subjects has been growing, and it's our responsibility to share and to share and to show people that there are these tools of self-transformation available for all of us that are in this earth.
Thank you, Isis. It is true, the world is really in need of Theosophy, even though they may not know that. Our world needs Theosophy. Thank you. Patrizia, up to you.
What I see in my country, my own country, but I can say probably the same for the whole Western world, is what Pope Francis called the globalization of indifference. And as part of the Jubilee celebrations, he took action against this indifference by opening a holy door. It is the second time we hear about doors. Tim mentioned Joy Mills yesterday, also on this word. Pope Francis opened a holy door in a prison, the epitome of a place where you have no means to escape. And this was, of course, a highly symbolic decision, but also an unconventional one. And it struck me because it gave to these prisoners a chance to go on a journey inside themselves and to discover this spirituality that is all redeeming, something that they can use to heal themselves also. And I think that this teaching, this decision of Pope Francis is good also for us, because we all need a door toward hope. We all need to escape or to be free from the prison in which we have put ourselves. And I think that Theosophy has this force. It has the force of ideas. It can really counteract this indifference. And so I think that it can be really a tool that we can spread, something that we can really use to open doors for everybody.
Thanks, Patrizia. A lovely story. Arni, to you now.
Okay. Paramahamsa Yogananda was extensive touring America. He was a great proud puller. The first question he used to ask the audience, how feels you? And the answer would be, awake and ready. So I'm going to ask the Theosophical family global here, how awake and ready we are. I ask, how feels you? And shout out, with great energy pulling up, awake and ready. Okay, are you ready? Yes. How feels you?
Awake and ready.
Great, awake and ready.
Awake and ready.
So that's what the Theosophical Society is planning today, awake and ready. And thanks to a visionary leader, good boy, for taking us to the trajectory of growth. Greetings from the Indo-Pacific section. And the question here to me is, what is the Indo-Pacific section doing to promote wisdom across borders? I've got plenty to write home about. So I'll just give you a keyhole vision of what's happening there. Every nation coming under this section is doing a fantastic job in this direction, maybe probably preparing for this talk here. Let me start with Blavatsky Lodge itself. The Blavatsky Lodge, if the Theosophical Society movement had the seeds sown in New York, I would say the founders during the period of 1879 and 82 planted the roots in Bombay in the Blavatsky Lodge. Such is the depth of the legacy of the lodge. And then on, the tree which grew is an Adyar, which you see is a universal tree with 60 branches. That's the Theosophical story. So we have a great connect here between New York, Mumbai, and Adyar. Now, Blavatsky Lodge itself has in the last 1 year attracted 5 international research scholars and popular theosophists with the only purpose of visiting the Blavatsky Lodge. That's the magnetism of the lodge. And I wish all of you do that sometime in your life. The first visitor we had is a Parisian theosophist from Paris. He lives in the Indian Ocean island of Dijon. He came searching for the lodge and took a French documentary on the lodge. The second visitor is here, and we are honored. Susan Wellenhofer of Washington, D.C. had heard about the lodge through my virtual talks, and she visited us just for the sole purpose of coming to the lodge and visiting. Susan is here. Susan has done a fantastic job. I'm not aware how much people know about it. She's the president of the Washington, D.C. Lodge, and she has translated the works of Dr. Franz Hartmann from German into English. This is a path-breaking effort on a part, which I think should be known to everybody. Why? Franz Hartmann has been writing in German, so not many people could read him, and she has done this tremendous job, of course, through the initiative of Erika and Juliet at the European School. But we thought we should try to honor people who do this kind of a work. So our Mr. Pandey and our Mrs. Kambara and sat down together and have given a scroll of appreciation to her, honoring her for the great work she has done. So that's the second visitor. The third is our friend Sushma, who's doing a wonderful job with Simon in New Zealand. And the fourth, of course, our rowing ambassador or rowing mentor, Michelle and Pablo Spender. They were there too, a fantastic talk they gave, very inspiring. And then we had an unusual visitor from Japan. The professor of Kobe University, he's in touch with me, and he unfortunately, he came when I was in Kenya, so because the time got missed. But he came, and he's given a very good report about happenings at the lodge, the archives there, and the great stories that he read along. So we just had this magnetic pool of international people. This is the cross-border transfer of wisdom at Theosophy. And then we also run a magazine called Synergy. Many of you have seen it. That's been appreciated by young people as appealing to the young with a fantastic content and display. That's the kind of definition. And this is done by a single lady through her pension fund. She doesn't take a single penny from the lodge or the federation. She refuses. She was a Gandhian. She was running a Gandhi newspaper in Hindi. And then she was appealed by the work of Annie Besant. And then she said, this is not going to the university students. Let's start something. And we did. That's become an amazing, you can say, a coffee table journal. So that's the kind of cross-border transfers that we're doing, unknown to many, but that's okay. And our Bombay Federation, too, of late has been looking outward. We have got invitees like Brother Vic and Brother Charlie on the virtual event that we had for the annual event. And also we had a young man called Duke Ironside, who is now a priest in Brazil. So we had all these people coming in to our programs. We are outward looking as much as we are inward looking. Then down in Sri Lanka, we have, and of course our national section has got Pradeep Mahapatra, who's the program director. He has a series of fantastic programs. Why I'm telling you all this, get in touch with me. Get in touch with people. That's how the ball sets, growing. So they do programs. I think last time they had somebody from Ukraine, Svetlana. She was there. And in October, we're going to have Erika Georgiades, who's going to do a workshop. So it's all growing outward. This is happening. This is a story from our side. And then we come to Sri Lanka. We have a one-man army in Venerable Olande Hollanda, a Dutch Theravada priest, who every Sunday has a heart meditation, a metta meditation, 4:30. Get in touch with me again to get involved. It's a wonderful half-an-hour session. Sri Lankans, United States, Australia, Malaysia, anywhere in the world. These are all happening here. Why don't we take the opportunity? And then we go to Singapore. Singapore Outstanding Lodge. Two things. The lodge management, Casey Tang, the secretary, says we stand and watch what the young people do. And the young people do the Lotus Circle.
Actually, I think that's a very important point, what the young people do, because of what Narendra said there, another example, and it's the young people, I think, who are showing us the way, in a way. But we have to trust. We've got to trust the universe when this occurs. Now, Arni, is it okay if I move on? You've finished there?
No, I would like to go up to New Zealand just for them to know it's a good opportunity. 2 more minutes?
Okay. We've got a number of questions. I think we should pull it in here if we could. But thank you. There's some wonderful things going on in the area there.
The area.
Thank you.
That's the message.
That's great. So there's lots of examples of Theosophy in action, of what I would call hope in action in the world there. So thank you, all of you. So I'm going to move to question 2, and this time I'll start with you, Isis. Can you share with us how you promote theosophical ideals within your region, such as the unity of life and ethical living, as we read in HPB's Golden Stairs, to help overcome division, such as ethnicity, religion, socio-economic, nationality, or political, just for example?
Yes, yes. Well, we are very fortunate. We have a very big team. We had the karmic opportunity to start some TV programs in 1999. And since then, we have television programs of Theosophy all these years. And it has a tremendous effect. And, well, I quite agree with Vic Houchin. We have to train, we have to have a good team. But in Brazil, somehow we have a good team. I have a list of people that I could invite to talk. I have a list of 40 names for national gatherings and so on. So we have a very good team. And, well, this work with television had a very good impact in the Brazilian Theosophical Society. We are treated like artists in the middle of the streets. Yes, people recognize us and say, oh, tell me again, what was exactly that you said in your talk, and things like that. And we have many, many stories like that. I heard many people say, you are helping me to lead my life. I have heard this several times. And then you see, what do? I study my books, I prepare my talks, I give my talks, they are shown in YouTube, and people see. So we don't know the reach. The talk I have more has 110,000 views. You know, you just prepare your talk, you don't know where it goes, you know.
It's like a pebble in the ocean, isn't it?
Yeah.
The ripples go out.
Yes, and when we had pandemia, this increased, and from then we started TSTV, only Theosophical Talks. Then we have Instagram, we have YouTube channel, we have lots of things. It's from 8,000 viewers, now we have 45,000 viewers. Well, you know, you cannot give what you don't have. So you have to offer the Theosophy that it's in your heart, that it resonates in you. And it's very good when you see that people appreciate that people are following the type of work you do. Not everyone, but somehow we are contributing to change the mentality of our time. Introduce Theosophical ideas in the general conception of people. And in Brazil, we are fortunate to see the results of this 26 years of television, and since pandemia, many more channels were started.
Thank you. Something that stands out with Isis is her enthusiasm, and I'm sure that comes through, you know, when you share, so that's really lovely as well. Thank you. Patricia, I'll come to you next for that question. Promoting Theosophy.
Yeah. Well, for example, just to talk about young Theosophists, in the last weeks, may I say, or month, or nothing more, we are trying to put together, with the help of the young Theosophists, project called Eco-Sophia, a working group on Eco-Sophia. And we do it through various initiatives, or we want to do it because it is just starting. It has just started. through various initiatives, through the website and through our magazine, through articles. We would give a concrete form about this outlook on life that is inclusive, that is in harmony with Mother Earth, with the infinite. And I believe that this is a very simple but very effective way to make people aware that we are all interconnected in the world and with Mother Nature. And to make people aware that nature is a big organism of which we are part. And, well, just to quote another thing, I usually encourage people to listen to the stories of the other persons, because when you listen and discover the life of people, you learn a lot. You learn how they live their humanity, and these create connections. This gives us not only awareness about their needs, their sorrow, but we can discover lives of real compassion, lives of dedication, lives of commitment. I think this has a special value for us because we Theosophists are different, because we celebrate the value of difference. And it is very simple. It is just going with respect, inclusion and collaboration that we can build a fairer, a safer and a stronger world. I think that we are here not only to celebrate those who gave their lives for this perennial wisdom, but also to create something that just to plant seeds for the future, and how bright it will be depends on how far we are able to dream now, here, in this special event.
Thank you, Patrizia. You bring up such an important point there in regard to the eco-theosophy. I thought, wow, because the youth are interested in our world. What's going to be at the end of their life? They're wondering, is the planet still going to be here? They have deep questions in this area, and they're concerns for them. So it's very important. And just that listen and connection, really important. Thank you. Now, Arni, to you, I think, yes, I've got you next.
I can cite the example of a Philippine model, which is exemplary in terms of two things that they contribute towards theosophical diffusion practically. The first is the Golden Link College education pattern, which is a radical shift in the Philippine Catholic education that the Wade mentioned. Instead of competition, they have brought in very slowly cooperation instead of competition in education, number one. And number two, they have turned violent kids from the marginally impoverished families into very docile, peaceful, peace-loving people. This is actually transformation in the true sense what Theosophists can do. So the Golden Link College is a great experience for young students, young youth to go and spend some time there to learn the pattern of education. I think the ADR Academy 2 is the kind of inspiration from Brother Vic. And soon, I think in Argentina, we have Erika Chavez, who's trying to work out something. So what's happening here? They don't say, this is Theosophy, because Theosophy is an ocean. They try to bring in the theosophical values. That's how the consciousness of the community goes up. It's not that I read this book and read the other book. That's the limitation of Theosophy. We tell them how we take it forward by action. So when you have the free space concept of the Philippine section, you will not believe the number of people who attended. Amazing. And I was shocked to see their convocation, hall full of people, young people, It's a capital resource in the college of future theosophists. And our duty as theosophists is not only to try to self-realize ourselves individually, but our families, our communities, entire nation. The consciousness has to increase to the whole planet. That's the whole purpose. And how slow are we going to be? Can we afford time before the bomb blasts with wars like Ukraine, Gaza? We can't. So I think we are in a hurry now to try to do this. And may I request the audience is here to take this message to your sections and get in touch with Brother Vic. He's ever helpful. Thank you.
Thanks, Arni.
I'd like to add that under the influence of Vic Houching, we are starting a Theosophical school in Brazil. We are already having a space for children to stay when the talk is going on, and the plans are advancing for us. So Vic is really a big influence in the world, and we hope that these Theosophical schools will spread all over the world.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I will just add something to that comment from Arni and you, Isis. My young daughter travelled to the Philippines for 3 weeks when she left high school in New Zealand, and she paid to save her own airfare, travelled over there, and she stayed with the headmistress at the school. And she came home and she said, "Mum, you know, some people think the Philippines is poor, but," she said, "it's very, very rich compared to our education back home." And she said, you know, even when we were playing netball on the court, she said, you don't race down to get the ball in the hoop. She said, you pass the ball to the weaker players, the players that need some help so that they can succeed. So I was always very thankful to hear my daughter's experience at the Golden Link College. That was just a couple of small things. So I thought that would add to that. Now, I've got just 2 further questions under this question. So we just want a short response here, but actually, I just realised I left you out, Narendra. So I'll pass to you first.
I'll be short, but for the last almost 90 years, it has been a practice of all the Theosophical lodges in our region to start every meeting with the recitation of the Golden Stairs. And then we end every meeting with the recitation of the Universal Prayer. So, and every time any outsider comes to the meeting and listens to the Golden Stairs, every one of them more or less would comment of how wonderful the stairs are and what a difference it would make if everyone actually practiced the values that are there. It has made a big difference to the image of the society. And of course, then in our regular meetings and everywhere, we discuss the individual steps. But I also want to say that one of the best examples of overcoming this ethnic, religious, socio-economic, and political differences and divisions was provided by Nelson Mandela and Bishop Desmond Tutu in the 1990s when the apartheid ended and Nelson Mandela took over became the president of the Rainbow Nation. He used the ideals of unity of all life, interdependence, and ethical living as a vehicle that would bring about harmony and cooperation amongst all the so many racial and ethnic groups in South Africa. Regardless of what people had done to him during his years in the prison, Nelson Mandela forgave each and every one of them and ensured that no one is left behind. He said, and I'll quote his words, "We are humans through the humanity of others. And this was such a bold statement because the world actually feared what would happen when a black person takes over as the leader of such a huge area. And instead of adopting the flesh for flesh or blood for blood approach, he saw people as humans, not as race, creed, caste, color, anything. He adopted the bottom-up approach rather than the top-down dictatorial approach. And these are his 4 key qualities were respect, which is very much in the an open mind, and fellowship, caring for others, sharing, and human dignity. And these are resonate perfectly with Madame Blavatsky's golden stairs.
Yes, they do. I think of our first object when I think of respect, you know, the universal brother, sisterhood, kinship, whatever you want to call it, that deep respect for every human being. It's just, it's a very beautiful object to have. Thank you very much, Narendra. Now, I have a couple of short questions here. If we could answer them in 30 seconds each, would be great. How do you see the ageless wisdom teachings being effectively engaged in the future, okay, for the inspiration of younger generations and helping humanity tread the evolutionary path? You'll get a medal if you can do that in 30 seconds. So, let's start with actually I invite you, whoever would like to comment there.
Okay. The Dalai Lama was there in Amsterdam 2 years ago for an AI futuristic exhibition. He said just 2 things. Science must develop, we must benefit, but with inclusion and with compassion. That's it.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Any other comment? Otherwise we'll go to the next question.
The younger generation in Africa actually is saying...
Microphone.
Sorry. The younger generation in Africa is actually saying very clearly, please don't forget us. They've been constantly saying that. And this is something we as Theosophical Society should keep in mind. And that really brings us to what Brother Vic told us today. We really need to give them a chance, otherwise we are doomed.
Sometimes I think we teach them, but they definitely teach us. Isa's thinking.
Yes, for me, the thing of meaning of life is what calls more attention, because suffering is everywhere, and well, we have to remember ourselves that we don't have Theosophy, we are searching for it, right? So this to incentive this search and little bits of findings that we get on the way, it really gives a chance of a better world for everyone, and it goes in the direction that HPB points to us.
Yes, yes, thank you. Now, I have one last question in this section. Is there a place for AI in connecting or assisting us in our theosophical work, or is it a potential threat in regards to impairing our ability to develop a discerning mind? Whoever would like it is fine.
Yeah, that's right. There's what is called deep tech. That's going to be the future, deep tech. That's AI. Okay. Now, what is the AI? Is a reflection of our consciousness. Science is only a reflection of our consciousness. It cannot go beyond. It might sort of rebel sometime. A robotic rebellion could happen. That's possible. But I was watching this show I think this was in San Francisco a couple of weeks ago. 80% of the people were in favor of AI. They said it's inevitable. But then, if it's inevitable, how we are going to be proactive in seeing it's better for the better of humanity? That's our concern as Theosophists. There are people in seats of power and influence, many around the world. I'm sure they can influence the direction, the trajectory of the AI evolution.
Yeah, it needs ethical guidelines in some sense, which we're talking there. Patrizia?
Well, Arni Besant stated that we are the vanguard of the sixth sub-race, that we are the light bringers, the heralds of this new era. But this new era will, how to say, all this will take place on a plane of consciousness that is far beyond the concrete mental plane in which we can put artificial intelligence and its various products, associated products. So while I'm sure that it can do many things for us, I don't think it is of any use when we have to inspire, to elevate, to instill deep spiritual concepts. I think that it has a name, but it is difficult to connect it with our spiritual evolution. A nice speech produced with artificial intelligence can satisfy our mind, but it is unlikely that it trigger a change in consciousness or fire our hearts.
That's a good point. Anyone else? There are quick comments. Yes. Yeah.
I just want to say, any of this modern technological development has all helped us, but it must have the parameters there. Anything that is used is beneficial. Anything that is abused brings the wrong results. So the discrimination falls on us.
Yes, it's required. Thank you.
Yes. Well, I graduated as a lawyer. I'm not good in maths. I'm not good in this science field, but I have seen how much technology has helped me. Computer, I have 2 phones because I use them a lot. And I think artificial intelligence is a tool, a modern tool of electronics, and we must use the tools that are available.
Thank you. That really goes to right use, doesn't it, of this tool that's there for us. We recently had at our local lodge a young member who generated all her slides from AI. So she wrote what she wanted, she knew what she was talking about, but every slide was AI generated for the picture. And I thought, well, that's okay, you know, she can generate the picture. And I saw a positive way for this tool, which was wonderful. Thank you. Now we're just moving to question 3, and time is upon us, so we need to hasten up a little bit here. Patrizia, I'm going to ask you this question first, and then everyone to comment. When looking at inner change or transformation, surely it falls upon the individual to begin by looking at themselves first. How does the Theosophical Society, through its wisdom teachings, support the person on their journey of knowing who they truly are?
Well, Theosophy encourages us to cultivate our kshetra, our field, and we can offer many, many wonderful options to people who like or want to tread this path. For example, the School of Wisdom, or this new project that we heard about Pablo Sender with these courses in Theosophy, but we have books, precious books like Vicente Hauchin self-transformation or Taimni self-culture, the whole theosophical literature can really help. But I think that we have to instill in people the desire to go through themselves, to go on a journey. This is more difficult because when it is up to given advice about a book, about a course on theosophy, it is easy, but they have to feel this desire to go into themselves, and this is the part we have to go first.
Actually, I think that's a great point, because if you think back when you came to Theosophy, what inspired you with Theosophy? So it sort of brings that right home. Arni.
Yesterday, the president asked people here how many attended the centenary celebration in New York, but he forgot to ask how many attended the centenary celebrations in Adyar. There are two here, me and Isis. And we lived this past 50 years, and I tell you, what Theosophy taught us in our life, look at the bigger picture, the bigger purpose. Is that the right thing we do? You are happy all the time, you're successful. You see us, we're always brimming with joy. That's Theosophy. Take it.
Thank you, Arni. Joy, a beautiful word. Thank you. Narendra first.
I feel the first step of the journey is to actually understand the value of what we are going to go into, and then take the step to go within, because unless there is that focus, that determination, getting onto any of this, just like going to the gym or keeping a diet, everything fails. Then we have all the materials, all the books Patrizia mentioned are the perfect books, but we need to take the first step and actually start by looking within. Once we start looking within, then a whole vista slowly opens up. And once that opens up, then all the steps, all the way up to meditation is there, and the growth or the possibility of growth is endless.
Yeah, the first step, it's the last step, I think. Isa's thinking, Narendra.
Yes, yes. Oh, I think to say it short, I say the three refuges of the Buddha. Perfection exists. There is a way to perfection, but there is the community that is treading this path. And the Theosophical Society is a big sangha for all of us, and we share. I always say that the Theosophical Society is a spiritual university. We take what, in the university you don't study everything, you just pick the things that you need, but you know a lot more than you would do if you would go only by yourself. I'm very grateful. I was born inside the Theosophical Society, but I'm very grateful to the Theosophical Society because I would not have the tools to transform myself if it was not this environment and people stimulating me to do so.
Thank you. Thank you. All very good points there with regard to transformation. Now this is a quick question, so a super quick response here. You're invited to, so you don't all have to respond, but our children learn differently from us as we learned differently from our parents in our turn. So how does the society adapt to new styles of teaching, sharing and presenting Theosophy to better connect with upcoming generations? Narendra?
50 years back when I joined the society, the trend was somebody would give a lecture for about an hour, and that's the end of the meeting, go home. Today, no young person is ever going to come to the lectures. What they need is more interactive participation, and that's what we have realized in the last few years, we are now having a topic, somebody introducing the topic for 5 to 7 minutes, and then the next 53 minutes are used for discussion. That's what they like. They want the new concepts on the PowerPoint and films, documentaries, discussions. That would help, otherwise they are not going to come.
Yeah, definitely change in the air there. Thank you, Narendra. He says.
Yes. Well, the first camp of the youth movement in Brazil, I was 12 years old, and all my youth was very much influenced by this, and we are still very good friends. We point of young theosophies of that time. And well, now we are old. I don't have so much gains, but we are old. Well, but we must stimulate because they have different methods, and we must support the young theosophies of today. We have Francis, we have Arthur, we have Leo, we have, well, I can name many others. They are the ones that are supporting the new methods of bringing theosophical studies ahead.
That's right. It kind of sits with the youth, doesn't it, to advise us rather than we telling them. So thank you. Now we're just coming to the final section, the reflection section. So in our closing reflections, can I ask you each to comment on what you consider to be the most important factor in bringing human connection and empathy towards all beings in our world? Arni,
Okay.
you're on.
The genesis of conflict is communication or miscommunication or non-communication. That's the genesis of conflict between your wife and your husband, your son and a daughter, with your boss and yourself and your friends and so on. So once I think we perfect this art of communication, ahimsa, communication with ahimsa. We need to train that, of course. It doesn't come easy. There was an incident in the plane when one of our friends got up and shouted out at a baby screaming. I sat down and meditated, and I found great peace and joy. That was the kind of communication I did, and the mother took away the baby a little elsewhere. You know, she saw me meditating. That's the communication, right? So these are kind of the body languages that we can, without hurting people, we can do it.
Yeah, we don't always have to say it, do we? It's our behaviour that models.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Arni. Isis, would you like to comment there? Your final reflections.
There is a saying that is very popular in Brazil that says, "I don't hear what you say because your acts scream." So.
Yeah, thank you. Narendra.
When 9/11 happened in 2001, strangers went in to help each other instinctively. They did not stop to ask, are you a Christian, a Buddhist, a Jew, a monk, whatever, a Democrat, a Republican. Human beings just helped other human beings. This just shows that human beings still have feelings of unity and oneness of life. Empathy is not dead. We perhaps just have to reawaken the wisdom of our ancestors. The principles of unity, compassion, and collective well-being are not sort of outdated. In fact, they are the foundation of a peaceful existence, of a truly connected world, and we need those brought back in one way or the other. Rebuilding a world rooted in unity starts with rediscovering the wisdom that once guided human societies all over. It means recognizing the differences between each one of us, of religion, language, belief, nationality, but therein those differences lies a shared humanity. And we all are part of the greater one. Have to push for it.
Thank you. We are empathetic beings, aren't we? Very much so. Thank you, Narendra. Patrizia.
Well, I just want to say, give people hope and meaning, because they will flourish. And this is the most beautiful thing we can see in the others.
Thank you. Beautiful last comments from all of you, and thank you. Now, finally, we, all of us here, would like to say a special thank you to Catalina Isaza-Cantor, who assisted us all on this journey of the international dialogue today. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it here to Vancouver, but both Catalina and her husband Shah are well known for their dedication and service work. We would like to finish with a very special poem that Catalina Isaza-Cantor wrote, and it's called A Field That Breathes. And I've asked Patrizia to read this out for us. Thank you, Patrizia.
There is something sacred about a space where no one is asked to fit, where the path opens and no one guards the gate. Here, Theosophy is not a name to defend, but a presence that invites, asks nothing, and allows everything. Some arrive with questions, some with longing, others with doubt. Each one is welcome. Each one is free to stay or leave or return again someday. The teachings, they are not monuments, they are seeds. They must be planted in living soil and allowed to grow into something real. And if they don't serve the soul or nourish the world, then we must ask, what are they for? Now, new tools speak in new tongues. Artificial intelligence can help us remember that truth wears many faces. It can shape learning to the individual, translate silence into sound, build bridges across time and language, so that meaning is not lost, but transformed. Let the young shape the forms. Let the elders carry the fire. Let both sit down together, not to teach or correct, but to listen and discover what still wants to be born. As for me, I stayed because I was free to go. I stayed because no one told me what to believe. I stayed because I found companions who did not need to agree, only to walk with me a while. This is what matters. Not the books, not the structures, but the quiet and the love that lingers when everything else is stripped away.
Thank you. Well, I think that beautiful poem is both inspiring and it has direction for all of us. So it's just something we can think about. That is in the July issue, I think it is, of the Theosophist, if you want a copy of that poem. Now, I would a special thank you now to our beautiful panellists for their amazing contributions today. To all of you, very, very appreciated. So, and with this, it's now time to close our session. And thank you, all of you, for being in attendance.